สวัสดีค่ะขอต้อนรับคุณผู้ฟังเข้าสู่รายการพอดแคสต์ของมหาวิทยาลัยกรุงเทพ Let's Talk Podcast by BU นะคะคุณผู้ฟังคะสำหรับหลายๆเอพิโซดที่ผ่านมาของ Let's Talk Podcast by BU เนี่ยเราก็จะเชิญอาจารย์นะคะในมหาวิทยาลัยกรุงเทพหรือว่าอย่างเอพิโซดที่แล้วเราเชิญผู้เชี่ยวชาญภายนอกนะคะมาเล่าถึงประสบการณ์ถ่ายทอดความรู้ของเขาให้กับคุณผู้ฟังได้ฟังนะคะใน Let's Talk Podcast by BU ค่ะแต่หลังจากที่จริงๆแล้วอย่างที่คุณผู้ฟังทราบกันนะคะว่าในมหาวิทยาลัยกรุงเทพของเราเนี่ยนอกจากอาจารย์ที่เป็นคนไทยแล้วจริงๆแล้วมีอาจารย์ต่างชาติอาจารย์เก่งๆที่เป็นอาจารย์ต่างชาติสอนอยู่ในมหาวิทยาลัยกรุงเทพมากมายเลยค่ะเช่นเดียวกันกับแขกรับเชิญของเราในวันนี้นะคะเป็นอาจารย์ต่างชาติค่ะเพราะฉะนั้นเดี๋ยวเชอรี่จะดำเนินรายการเป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะคะคุณผู้ฟังแต่ก่อนที่จะดำเนินรายการเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเนี่ยเชอรี่ขอเกริ่นสักเล็กน้อยค่ะว่าเรื่องราวในวันนี้ที่เราจะคุยกันเนี่ยค่ะเป็นเรื่องราวเกี่ยวกับ Youth Entrepreneurship in Asia Pacific ค่ะถ้าแปลเป็นไทยเนี่ยอาจจะแปลได้ว่าผู้ประกอบการรุ่นเยาว์ในภาคพื้นเอเชียแปซิฟิกนะคะและแขกรับเชิญของเราในวันนี้เป็นอาจารย์ที่สอนอยู่ในมหาวิทยาลัยกรุงเทพเธอเชี่ยวชาญทางด้านนี้เขียนรีเสิร์ชเขียนวิจัยเกี่ยวกับทางด้านนี้ค่ะ so here today our special guest in Let's Talk Podcast by BU before we getting to see her I think we should getting to know her first okay for the background Our special guest today in Let's Talk Podcast by BU, she is an assistant professor at the Bangkok University School of Entrepreneurship and Management. Her 25 years or more in entrepreneurship experience include working in her family-owned manufacturing business, leading an IT startup as a supplier to the automotive industry. Her research interests revolve around women entrepreneurship, the use of entrepreneurial networks, and their influence on innovation in entrepreneurial activities. She joined the GEM Thailand team in 2012 and is currently its team leader. So everybody sitting here today with us in the studio, please welcome our special guest, Ms. Ulrike Guerich. สวัสดีค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ Thank you for coming and for joining us.
I'm happy to be here.
So, can I call you Uli?
Yeah, sure.
As usual?
Easier.
Oh, okay, Uli. So, Sherry. Okay. Before we start, I think we have to ask you, this is a must question. How long have you been here in Thailand?
Oh, 12 years.
12 years?
Yeah.
Can you speak some
I
Thai?
can speak some Thai.
Yeah, some word from us
Besides
today.
Sawadika.
Oh, we say สวัสดีค่ะ yeah. สวัสดีค่ะ is a สบายดีค่ะ great accent. Okay.
Still working on it.
But you have a great accent. Impressive. For 12 years. So, I think before we jump into the youth entrepreneurship in Asia Pacific, because I mentioned about GEM, would you like to share with us what is GEM?
Yeah.
Project?
It's not a GEM, it is Global Entrepreneurship Monitor.
Okay.
And it is the longest study on entrepreneurship, started in 1999 already, so more than 20 years. And it's the largest study on entrepreneurship. It's undertaken by roughly 100 countries a year,
Wow.
collecting local country data.
Okay.
And so we can compare the data between the countries. That is a very good part of GEM, that we could compare Thailand data, for example, with Vietnam or with United States or Asia Pacific.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did in this case.
So when you talk about Asia Pacific, I'm quite bad at geography. So can you introduce me and the audience what is Asia Pacific is?
Yeah.
Which countries are we including here?
Yeah, there are several definitions out there actually, but usually we started with Iran, Afghanistan, and spread over to Australia, New Zealand, all of that in between is Asia Pacific. So it's very, very large area.
Yeah, definitely.
Also large population of the world.
Okay. So the main topic today that we are going to talk, youth entrepreneurship. Can you give us an, definition or give us some background? What is youth entrepreneurship? Because when we talk about youth, maybe we think about the young people, or is there any definition you want to share with us when we talk about youth entrepreneurship, please?
Yeah, we talk about entrepreneurship maybe first because entrepreneurship is about managing and owning either a startup or an established business, can be family business, but it's managing and owning. And youth entrepreneurship means that those are the young people. And youth by United Nations is defined age 15 to 24. But in GEM, we looked at the age range from 18 to 34 years of age.
So I'm not young anymore. Okay, I'm not youth.
I was a youth entrepreneur when I started my business by that definition, actually.
Wow. May I ask what kind of business did you start back then?
No, we started a pottery, but then I took over the family business, which was brick industry, manufacturing of bricks.
Cute. Okay.
Oh, not cute, actually.
Okay, so how about, so now we get the concept with us, with the audience. We share the same idea now about youth entrepreneurship. How about youth entrepreneurship in Asia Pacific? How are we doing right here, right now?
Yeah, the problem with youth in Asia Pacific is that it is a large amount of youth population located here in this area. And if we have 1.1 billion globally, 750 million are in this region. And many of them are not in employment, not in education, and not in training. And so they are kind of left behind somewhere. And that's where UN or UNDP says they have the slogan to leave no one behind. And so they said we need to focus on what to do with, it's actually 220 million youth in Asia Pacific who are not in employment training or in education. And so the idea that came up was they have to supply work for themselves, so that we have to get them into entrepreneurship.
I see.
Because there are not enough jobs out there. Automation is taking away more jobs, manual labor for low-skilled youth. And so the goal is to bring them into entrepreneurship, to help them, teach them the skills they need, and get them off the track they're in at the moment.
Get them to the right track. Yeah. Okay. So is there any relationship between the level of higher education of the people and the rate of youth entrepreneurship?
Yeah, there is a connection between, we see that the higher the educational level, the more they can become entrepreneurs, or they do become entrepreneurs. But the low level, we in Thailand, we have many people with who are entrepreneurs and who are not with a high level of education. But they tend to be less innovative. So there's also a combination with educational level and innovation in the business.
I see.
And this is what we want.
I see.
We want innovation in entrepreneurship.
Okay. So, and when we talk about youth entrepreneurship, I think the first thing that comes across my mind is that youth entrepreneurship, like we discussed here, we talk about young people between 18 to 34, right? That you are looking for. They're young people. Is there any problem with them when they raising the fund? I mean, some families, some young entrepreneur, they may come from the wealthy family, so financial may not be the problem for them. But for some other people who are not from the wealthy family, so is it difficult for them to raise a fund?
It is. Definitely, it is more difficult for young people than for older people because normally they don't have a history with a bank.
Experience.
They just start out and the bank doesn't know, can I trust this person or not? And many are not successful. It's another level that comes, startups, 90% fail, we know that. And so if they're young and a startup, banks are very reluctant. And so usually for a traditional enterprise, money comes from family, from friends, from themselves if they manage to earn something.
The people around them?
Maybe friends even, but very rarely from banks because they just don't trust you.
Simple.
Yeah, it's that simple. It's just because they are young. They're not,
You don't have history in a bank.
Yeah.
You don't have financial history, credits, line, anything. Okay.
Also, maybe financial literacy is maybe also limited. I'm not sure about that.
I see.
As well.
Okay. I think it's interesting when we talk about youth entrepreneurship, but another side of the maybe not the downside, but another side of the being entrepreneur. If there's more people that want to be an entrepreneur, especially the young people, like what we're seeing right here, right now, today in the society. Because we quite close to the students, so we know that many more students want to do their own business. They don't want to be the office people anymore. I don't want to be an office lady or office person. In your opinion, do you think this is a threat or the challenge of those like social enterprise or the business, because the young people, they don't want to work in the office anymore, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, they have to be aware that many businesses fail. And that is an experience many made, especially because you said social entrepreneurs. We know that in the region, there are few social entrepreneurs anyhow, but they start up. They're probably very idealistic about, solving problems in the environment or the society, but they don't make it beyond 3 months. So normally a business that, the establishment of a business takes longer than just starting up. And we should add up more businesses. It should be more and more established businesses because they add up. And in the social entrepreneurs is like, they don't add up. It's like half after 3 months, half are left. And that is a big concern because number one, these young people made the experience to either shut down a business or fail it, whatever happened. They already know. And if you're young, maybe you can put it away, but it's also maybe a hindering factor for the next business you want to start. It makes it more difficult. So we need to talk about failure as well, same as we do with the students. It's part of what they need to know and experience, prepare them for it.
Okay.
Just because 9 out of 10 might experience it.
And because of the statistics say it. So.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned about the social entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Can you explain this to us? What is social entrepreneurship?
Social entrepreneurship is same as managing and running a business. However, they start that business because they see a problem in a society or in the environment which they want to solve. So there is this social aspect in the business. And usually there are narrow and, narrow definition when we say all of the money this business makes is put to the social cause or the environmental cause, or only partial of the money is put back. So they need to make money as well. Otherwise, they cannot put the money to the social cause. So they're also for profit. It's not, and I think that's maybe a reason why some of the social enterprises, don't make it long enough, because they think about the social cause, but not about making a profit. But they have to make a profit as well.
You have to survive in order to help the other people.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the ecosystem of the social entrepreneurship? Can you briefly?
The ecosystem, in general, we talk about ecosystem as the government support or bank financial support, government policies, and infrastructure. And actually, it's average in Thailand. The support for social entrepreneurs is average. But astonishingly, I was also disappointed, like you just looked like. And but I found that compared to the rest of the world, we're actually better.
Wow.
They are worse.
Okay,
so,
we should be proud.
We should be not too sad. We can improve still. I mean, there's still a lot to improve, but it's actually not, just in a comparison, not that bad, even though it's only average.
Okay, last question today, because we will discuss, about youth entrepreneurship in Asia Pacific, social entrepreneurship, and we're doing quite okay. Comparing to the other, what's next, in your opinion, about youth entrepreneurship in Asia Pacific?
Yeah,
should government jumping in more, do more supportive, or what do you think?
I do think the governments are maybe only helpful if they ease the funding problems, if they help ease the funding problems, maybe with financial institutions. But otherwise, the UNDP started something called Youth CoLab across Asia Pacific, only Asia Pacific, and they train youth in the skills they think they need for the future, such as collaboration, leadership, creativity, and innovation. And they want them to start a business, and they help them start a business, but with a social aspect or an environmental aspect, because they have the Sustainable Development Goals, and they want, and I think it is important, especially in the pandemic, we saw that this aspect of a business also for traditional businesses, the social aspect has become a lot more intense, that they have to solve something. Besides making a profit, they have to do something good with their business for the society or the environment. So this changed in the last 3 years. And I think for youth entrepreneurs, we really need to educate them, and also in funding, in literacy in funding, because they lack these skills. And that's what I think what can be done, besides maybe also not talking about them as we do at the moment, but talking to them. And I think that's what is lacking as well, that governments talk about this group, or organizations talk about young people, but they should talk to them. Like we talk to our students and ask our students, how is it, and we can help them if we talk to them. But if it's an abstract word like the youth, might be difficult. More difficult.
I see. Okay. So I think that's it for today. And thank you, Uli, very much for coming to Let's Talk Podcast by BU. I think we're looking forward to see and talk to you in the other episode, as your interest is also in female entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're looking forward to chat with you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Soฝากติดตามนะคะรายการ Let's Talk Podcast by BU นะคะใน EP ต่อไปค่ะแล้วเดี๋ยวเรามาติดตามกันนะคะว่าแขกรับเชิญคนต่อไปของเราจะเป็นใครนะคะสำหรับวันนี้เชอร์รี่แล้วก็อาจารย์อุลี่เราทั้งสองคนขอลาไปก่อนนะคะสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ